How can we avoid burnout as yoga teachers? Well, there's two main reasons why yoga teachers burn out. The first one is we run around to lots of different studios. We're traveling all hours of the day, sometimes starting at 7 in the morning and finishing at 9 o'clock at night. We are taking on as many jobs as we can to pay our way, to pay our bills, to pay our life. And there's only so many hours in the day. And the tricky thing is that yoga teachers are only paid for the hour they actually teach. Nobody takes into account the time that it takes to plan, to travel, and all of that. So if you're living on your yoga teaching and you're only working for people in their studio for $35 or £35 an hour, it's really hard to do enough classes to pay for your lifestyle. So the burnout kind of happens easily in this situation because you just overdo it and you don't listen to yourself when you're really tired and you've got a lot of pressure on you to keep going and teaching all those classes. So I meet teachers and students all the time that teach 25, 27 classes a week. That does suit some people. I say there's a few people that actually really like that, but let me just give you a little heads up about what the opposite to that is. The opposite to teaching 25 classes a week for about 30k a year is teaching 4 classes a week for 30k a year. And that's what I did. I opened up my own space. It wasn't a full-time rental, so I had much lower overheads, but I had access to the space any hour of the day for a really good rent by the hour. I actually built up 8 community classes, but 5 of them were there, and 4 of them were bringing in around 30k a year. So that was over 120, 130 pounds per class. And the great thing is the studio was only 5 minutes from home, and I did some hard learning to get the system automated a little bit. What I mean by that is everybody that ever came to see me as a student or even as a patient in the clinic, I would make sure that I kept their email address. I sent them really relevant, interesting mailing list emails, and made sure that I hosted some fun events like coffee mornings, lunches, Christmas things, so that they felt like they're in a community. And it didn't take me more than about 9 months, maybe just a year, to build up to those 4 or 5 classes. And they were all running through one booking system, and people were getting reminders for their renewals, and it was processing the payments for me. It was really as easy as working in somebody else's studio, but I didn't have the travel and I didn't have the empty pockets. I was able to be creative myself and take the money that I deserved for that effort, and that is the way that I did it. The second way in which yoga teachers definitely burn out, and I see this a lot in my coaching courses, is it's the confidence leading to over preparation, leading to 2 hours of preparation per hour of teaching. So if you're the teacher who goes around the city or the town teaching lots of different classes for the hourly rate, and you also resonate with that planning over planning thing, then you're probably spending 70 hours a week and you're never getting a break. And so I've got a lot of tips and a lot of tricks on that. And growth is always painful. We have to challenge where you're at right now, and we have to ask you to step out of that comfort zone. If you are in that situation and you're feeling tired and you're losing, the first sign of burnout is you lose the love for the thing you loved. And that's no fun as a yoga teacher, coming up with a class plan, traveling all around the city, and I don't even care about it. In fact, I've heard people say they hate yoga. I hate it. I hate the people. That is a sure sign that you're burning out. And if we were to rest you, retrain you a little bit, get your mindset in the right place, I promise we would get you loving it again. Let me remind you that teaching yoga compared to many other professions is a wonderful way for you to share wellness and health and move your body and move other people's bodies, make them feel physically stronger, more healthy. The community, the fun side of it, the getting together, the having the laugh, the building, the friendships in the room. I promise you, if you used to love it and you don't right now, you might be feeling burnt out, and you can get it back. I'm actually sat in a clinic right now that I work out on a Friday, and 6 months ago I quit this career because I burnt out, and I decided being a physical therapist and osteopath was not for me because I burnt out. I was running the whole thing myself, and not quite aligning with some of my purpose. So here I am back again, absolutely loving everything, absolutely loving being the osteopath again, helping mums, new mums and pregnant people, and especially in clinic here, live really well and be pain-free. So it's possible, I can tell you from personal experience. So we need to get you out of that comfort zone, and we need to get you planning less. So if you've been teaching, say, a year or more, you're probably aware that, the opening to the class is usually similar, the warm-up or whatever you do next, then the standing, seated, whatever it might be. You might have your own way of doing that. So what you normally do, if you're an over planner, is you've sat for hours, you've heard on Facebook from all these people that you've never met telling you that you have to practice to be a teacher, you have to embody it. So therefore you feel that pressure to get on the mat and do your whole sequence. And then life happens, right? And then we realize that we're actually humans trying to have a good life without all stress. And then you realize that yoga can feel just as stressful as being a lawyer. And being a lawyer can be stressful, but also some lawyers who are very good at organizing themselves, maybe they don't find it stressful. And we don't want you to find teaching stressful. So we want to get you out of that need to get on the mat and do 2 hours of planning per class. We can find ways of condensing that down. We might be able to condense it right down to a 30-minute planning session for the whole week. So if you're interested in knowing more about getting rid of that burnout, whether it's because you want to work more for yourself, or whether it's that you want to be more confident with your class planning and time management, then book a call to chat with me. I have a diary that you can book a half an hour chat with me. I'm based in Brighton in the UK, so I work on a few different time zones with that, so I'm kind of in the middle of the world. And book a call and let's have a chat. I would love to map out a few steps for you on that call. Map out a few steps. First thing you're going to do is this. Second thing is this. Third thing is this. Just go and do these things, and let's get you back in love with it, like I am here at the clinic. Enjoying being back, helping patients live pain-free.